It's late August, 1978. A Category 4 hurricane named Ella is churning up the Atlantic coast, barreling straight toward New York City. Directly in its path sits the brand-new Citicorp Center. At 59 stories tall, it is hailed as a modern marvel, piercing the skyline with a distinct 45-degree slanted roof. But look closely at the base, and you will spot something bizarre. Instead of resting on its four corners like a normal skyscraper, the entire tower hers on four massive stilts, positioned directly in the center of each side. This layout solved a strict real estate problem. The developers bought the air rights above St. Peter's Church, but the congregation refused to leave the site. The engineers had to build the skyscraper straddling the church below. William LeMessurier was the mind behind the tower's unique skeleton. But shortly after the building opened, he received a phone call from an undergraduate engineering student. The student had been studying the tower's blueprints for a class project, and he told LeMessurier the math didn't add up. The building was flawed. LeMessurier initially dismissed the kid. He knew his own design, but curiosity got the better of him. He went back to his office, ran the numbers through early computer models, and realized with mounting horror that the student was absolutely right. If Hurricane Ella hit New York, the wind would push the tower past its breaking point. The stilts would buckle, dropping a 59-story steel guillotine onto one of the most densely populated blocks on Earth. Hundreds of thousands of lives were suddenly at risk. To understand why the building was doomed, we have to look inside. The Citicorp Center relied on a massive skeleton of diagonal steel beams, known as chevron bracing, to stay upright and distribute weight. Standard building codes require engineers to test for winds hitting flat against the side of a structure. In this scenario, the chevron braces easily absorb the pressure, keeping the tower stable. But the student had calculated for quartering winds hitting the building from diagonal angles, right on the corners. This specific angle created a twisting motion that torqued the entire skyscraper. Because the building sat on those center-aligned stilts, it lacked the corner support needed to resist this twisting. The rotation forced the entire load of the skyscraper onto the joints connecting the chevron braces, and that is where LeMessurier found the fatal error. During construction, a contractor had proposed a cost-saving measure. Instead of using strong, expensive welded joints, they bolted the steel braces together. The change was approved without LeMessurier realizing its impact on corner winds. Under the extreme twisting pressure of a hurricane, those cheap bolts wouldn't hold. They would violently shear off in sequence, unzipping the building skeleton. A simple decision to save money on hardware had turned an architectural triumph into a ticking time bomb, and that time bomb was counting down fast. By late August, Hurricane Ella was rapidly gathering strength off the coast, carrying winds that could generate those deadly quartering forces and tracking directly toward Manhattan. LeMessurier faced career suicide. Disclosing the flaw would ruin his reputation, but hiding it would kill thousands. He quietly informed the building's owners and city officials, organizing a secret repair operation to bypass public panic. The logistics were staggering. Behind closed doors, the NYPD and the Red Cross mapped out a 10-block evacuation radius around the tower, placing emergency response teams on high alert in case the wind speed suddenly spiked. Every evening at 5 o'clock, the office workers went home, and at 8 o'clock, an army of contractors infiltrated the skyscraper, working through the night until 4 in the morning. The crews tore open the freshly painted drywall to expose the skeleton. They painstakingly welded 2-inch thick steel plates over all 200 vulnerable bolted joints, showering the tight spaces with sparks to permanently fuse the structure together. Hundreds of feet in the air, men were fighting a desperate battle to secure the skyline, while millions of New Yorkers slept below, entirely unaware of the danger hovering over their heads. The fate of Midtown Manhattan had boiled down to a high-stakes foot race. It was the secret welding crew against the unrelenting advance of Hurricane Ella. The welders won the race. Just as the final steel plates were secured and the structure was reinforced, Hurricane Ella shifted its path, turning eastward and blowing out into the open Atlantic. The immediate crisis evaporated. The teams packed up their gear, the drywall was patched, and the reality of the Citicorp Center was kept hidden from the public for nearly 20 years before a reporter finally uncovered the story. Looking back, the saga of the Citicorp Center serves as an enduring case study in professional ethics. A sleek facade and a clever blueprint cannot rewrite the laws of physics. Nature eventually tests every stress point, exposing any hidden cobrizes made along the way. LeMessurier's reputation is defined by his willingness to risk it, choosing the humility of a public admission over the possibility of a catastrophic failure. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden chapters and near misses of engineering history, hit the subscribe button and let us know in the comments which structure we should investigate next.